So, good evening. Today, I'm going to introduce one of the best speakers, and she is a renowned face on YouTube too. She has got a lot of subscribers, and the knowledge she shares that is indescribable, that is unparalleled. If you really want to improve your communication skills, so you should go to her channel and you should watch some of her videos. And today's video is also going to be very informative. People always ask that how they can start speaking, how they can be fluent, and how they can improve their communication skills. So today I have an expert of it, and she will tell you that how we can improve our communication skills. So I would like you to introduce yourself, and first I want you to tell me your channel's name so that whosoever is indeed interested, they can go to your channel and they can get some helpful videos from you.
Yes. So first, let me introduce myself. I am Priya, and I have a YouTube channel which is around 40, which has around 42,000 subscribers, and it
Hmm.
is T English Official,
Hmm.
which is T English Official. And this channel is especially we have started in the year of 2020 when COVID hit, and when
Hmm.
we are with nothing left, so except to
Hmm.
explore different kinds of platforms. And we have started, YouTube, which was one of the good platform, I can say.
Hmm.
So I think people must, use these kind of free resources and other platforms and all to improve their English, to better up their English.
Hmm.
So as I said, I'm a verbal trainer actually. Apart from a YouTuber, my profession is like I'm a verbal trainer. I
Hmm.
train for IELTS, TOEFL, GRE, and GMAT. These are English language tests,
Hmm.
and I have around 9 to 10 years of experience in teaching English to adults and also kids. So this is all about me.
Hmm. Yes, that's wonderful. And what more people want, if they want to learn or they want to take classes for IELTS, you are there. You are going to help them to know how they can clear or how they can crack IELTS. Okay, that's wonderful. Okay, so the first pertinent
Yeah.
question is that how we can improve our English, and this is the most Googled question I feel. That how we can improve our English at home alone. I want to know this.
Okay. Yes. See, I think everyone wants a free resource to practice English, and
Right.
especially at the comfort of their home, as you said, all alone at home. So they can do it. Yes, there are different resources that they can still use and they can practice English.
Hmm.
So the first one I would say is watching these kind of conversations would surely help you first to improve, the pronunciation. They can
Hmm.
improve their vocabulary, which is quite important to first start off to speak
Hmm.
English. Because see, if you want to speak English, let's imagine a child. If a child wants to improve, he might start off with, or the child might start off with one or two words, and then they
Hmm.
will pick up a simple sentence, and then they will pick up a big mouthful sentence. So you will start off with words,
Right.
and then broken parts, and then you will frame into a complete sentence. This is what you have to do. Simple. You
Hmm.
just have to first gather words, absorb them, and try to use them daily. And the next thing is make sure you frame that into sentences, because that is also quite important when it comes to
Hmm.
improving your speaking skills at home. So other thing that you can do apart from listening to conversations is like you can also start off reading books.
Right.
As Sunil always insists their learners to read books and improve their vocabulary, because this is one of the best sources that you
Hmm.
can improve your vocabulary, which is quite important for speak spoken English. Because if you want to speak, you should have vocabulary, right? If you run out of words, that's quite important. So you can start reading something which is little less complicated, rather than going for novels which are so complicated. You can go for you know something which is meant for children, because for children, it's quite easy and simple. So you can understand, and you can also frame it, you can use it. But if you go for complex and complicated novels and all, it would be of good rich vocabulary and also high end, that you
Hmm.
don't even know what's the word, the meaning of it, and how to use it in context, and you would be
Right.
perplexed, like how can I use this word? So it would be waste of your time as well. So I won't recommend that for for learners who are starting off and even for the intermediate learners as well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So I
You
think
can.
these are the two things that you can do.
Yes, well explained, and you can say that again. That I also believe in it, that if you want to improve your vocabulary, make sure you need to know what your level is. If you start learning fancy words, you will not be able to understand that. If I tell you one of the words, that is sycophant, if you do not know basic words, flatterers, if you do not understand flatterers, so you will not be able to understand this fancy word. As you said, we need to go with basic words initially. And one myth is going on that people feel that they can learn this language by watching some YouTube videos. But sometimes they really do not know that what is a good content to watch and what's not. There are so many
Yeah.
YouTubers, they always say that we
Yes.
must not focus on grammar. So what is your take on it?
Um, I don't think grammar is waste and we have to just avoid that practice.
Right.
Obviously, first of all, without grammar, how you can frame a sentence and see, even if
Hmm.
people frame a sentence or speak, the other person may not understand the actual meaning of it if the grammar is not accurate. So grammar is important. But to start
Right.
off, don't focus much on grammar.
Right.
Don't focus much on grammar, because if you start practicing grammar, you cannot become. You will always be in a what do you call, in a kind of practice mode, saying that okay,
Hmm.
now let me do this part, or let me do this part, let me do this part. So you would be always practicing grammar and you would never get a chance to speak. So
Hmm.
this is what their kind of intention is, to say that you start off speaking. Don't worry about grammar. Grammar will come,
Right.
but
Right.
start out. That's what their intention is.
Indeed, it's very important. And I'm becoming curious to know that how your journey started for English. And have you had this ambience, or have you had this level of speaking since your birth?
Obviously not.
Okay.
Nobody will have that kind of environment, because we all are non-native speakers. We are not native speakers,
Hmm.
right? So
Hmm.
if you are born and brought up in a country, maybe you would have that kind of exposure. As you're born and brought up there, you would already pick up, because the environment is filled with English. So you cannot deny that. But here in India, I think back in those days, so I have practiced English only when I started my job. Before that, even I was like everyone who's very shy.
Hmm.
I won't say I'm a shy person. I'm a more talkative person. I'm an extrovert. I filled all my environment with people who speak good English. So that's
Right.
how I made, up to that level.
Hmm. Yes, yes. And it is one of the things that we need to have. We always surround ourselves with English people who can appreciate us. That most of the times it happens when you try to speak anything, people will be there and they will deride you. Then that is not a good thing to do. Yes. And I also want to know from you that how we can start a conversation with a stranger. And what are the things that we need to have in mind?
See, when you're starting off a conversation with a stranger, obviously you don't ask certain stupid questions to them, because again,
Okay.
and people would not get interested to continue the conversation. So always make sure you're calm and composed, and
Mm,
try to be, a little friendly. Try to start off with the friendly note, because obviously when you're warm from inside, and also when you're
mm,
wearing a smile on your face, people would express and people would like to talk with you. But if you're so, what do you call, so dull and not having that energy or zeal to talk, nobody would be interested to talk or, have a conversation with you.
yes.
So if you're starting off to talk with a stranger, so make sure you have a smile on your face and try to be calm, and just do on a friendly note, just not like as it's so formal, as if, hi, how are you? I have met here. So something like, so don't be so, formal. Let's be casual. So
Mm,
that's how healthy conversations would be.
right. Yes. Yes, that's true. And I also want to know one thing, that whenever we speak, by chance, it is certain, it is bound to happen. We do make mistakes. When I talk to you, if I make a mistake, that point of time my mind goes blank. How I can continue speaking? How I can just let it go and then continue the conversation?
See, we all make mistakes and we are in a
Mm,
learning process. So you have to first keep that in mind that we are all
mm,
learners. We are not
mm,
perfect, or we are not perfectionists, right? Even though we are trainers, we still have a learning phase, because every day I hope you and I would surely learn something new, because that's what we are in. We are in an industry to teach English. So obviously you have to have something in your mind so that you can teach and you can make every day something which is interesting to your, learners and also your students. So I
Hmm.
would think that this learning process will never end and it's going to continue, maybe till you die. That's what I feel, because that's more important. See, we should all continue learning, because that's never a full stop to it. There's never a full stop to it. So you should continue
Hmm.
that. And mostly, I would say, whatever you do, whenever you do a mistake, right?
Hmm.
Don't worry about that. Just continue with the flow. Even though
Right.
you feel like, I have done a mistake, just don't pop up and say that, oh, sorry. Don't try to put that, again forward, saying that you have made a mistake. Don't
Hmm.
try to do that.
Right.
Just avoid it, continue with the conversation. Just don't
Hmm.
highlight it again. So I made a mistake. I'm so sorry about it. So I was about to say this. It would be little, not good. This question commonly comes from my students when they attend interviews. What they do is, when it comes to any question, if they feel like
Hmm.
they're answering it wrong, what they do is they again come up saying that I'm so
Right.
sorry, I actually made a mistake. I
Hmm.
was about to say this. So
Hmm.
never do that. Never, try to highlight your mistakes. Instead, just continue with the flow.
Hmm.
If they realize, if they have, you know, highlight, if they know that you made a mistake, that's not a big deal. Okay, no problem.
Right.
But if you highlight, that would be a big thing for them, because they can, if they didn't even identify it, they would
Hmm.
surely identify once you say that to them. So don't highlight your mistakes, just continue with the flow.
Yes. Yes.
So
And yes.
energy is, see, one thing I want to add over here is like confidence. When you're confident enough, right? I hope people can do it.
Yes. Right. And yes.
That's what
And
I feel.
yes, that's true. And what I have understood by this is that if we make any mistakes unintentionally, what we can do is we can make it better. Whatever conversation is left, we can take care of that rest conversation. Okay, I by mistake made that, but we must not highlight, as you said that. And it is true that mistakes are the part of our lives. And I want to know that there are so many people, they often tell me that they are uninterested in reading. How they can develop their interest in reading? Any tips from your end?
Actually, I must say that I'm not a bookworm. I
Okay.
hate reading books. I don't. It's
All
how
right.
can I explain that? I don't love reading books. So how I improved is just by watching, just by listening, and just
Hmm.
by writing. So this is what I'm mostly done. So when it comes to reading, right, I would suggest that whichever book you feel that interests you, and you have,
Hmm.
if suppose some people are interested in finance, so they can read finance related books. If
Right.
some people are interested in something like beauty, they can
Hmm.
read something. So one thing you have to focus is whatever interests you, try to do that,
Hmm.
try to read it, try to watch that. Because if you're not interested, right, even though you still listen to that, you'll not pay focus to it, and
Right.
you will end up learning nothing, instead of just wasting your time listening throughout the conversation. So I would
Yes.
say, I would suggest students or learners to do what you feel is worth watching, and
Hmm.
what you feel you are interested in, so that it will pay you off.
Hmm. Yes, that's true. And people always follow the herd. Like if we are saying that we must go for reading without looking at our interest, I will go for reading blindly. And without any interest, I'll go for reading. And what will happen? I will end up sleeping while reading anything. And it will work as medicine. That if I want to sleep, I just take my book and I will try to read that book. Okay, I
Yeah.
also want to ask you that whenever people watch videos, should they watch that video with subtitles or without subtitles? English videos.
Captions or without captions, I feel like people should, if suppose they are beginners, they can
Mm-hmm.
start off with captions. But
Okay.
if the student or learner is at intermediate level or expert, obviously they don't need captions, right? So they can
Mm.
understand with what they are, because the kind of the lip sync of the person, the pronunciation, how they enunciate the word, Even with that, they can understand what actually the person is trying to say. But when it comes to beginners, right, I think I would suggest them to turn on the captions to watch the
Hmm.
video.
Yes, that's true without a shadow of a doubt that when you are a beginner, that point of time you better go with subtitles. But I want to know one thing that still I do watch videos with captions. But when I do that, I miss the beauty of that conversation. I'm always after word meanings that
Yeah.
okay, what he said. So how
Yes.
can I make that conversation interesting or that video interesting for myself?
So obviously, you should turn off the captions. That's when, you
Okay.
can feel interested in that kind of video.
Hmm.
Because as you said, if you're focusing on the, below part of the video, because the captions would be
Hmm.
at the below line.
Right.
So if you're so interested in watching that, you would not enjoy the content that you're watching. So if you're not
Hmm.
enjoying, as I said, it doesn't make sense wasting all your
Hmm.
time into it and just watching throughout the conversation. So for that,
Hmm.
I basically insist students or learners to just go ahead and enjoy it. And later,
Yes.
again, if you want to improve, you can again watch it with the subtitles.
Yes.
That
The
is how you
same
can
video.
improve it. Yeah, the
Hmm.
same
Yes.
video.
Yes.
Because in that way, it would be even more clear to you. If it's not clear at the first attempt, in the second attempt,
Hmm.
it will be clear to you because you're doing it again, right? So repeating it will also be a good thing.
Yes. Yes.
But
That is a
do
good thing.
repeat only which is quite informative. Don't repeat all the videos which you don't find it informative and
Hmm. And I really enjoyed the conversation with you. And I would like people to go to your channel and watch your videos. And I'm going to add the link of your video in this description so that people can get to you. And if they want to learn anything about IELTS, so they can be in touch with you. I really enjoyed it.
Yes, yes. I'll be so thankful for Sunil for collaborating with us and also providing a lot of value to our audience and also his audience. Don't want to, but I would say that one thing that you're really friendly. So you're a very good to go person that I can say that
Thank you so
you're so warm and welcoming as well. So I didn't find that I'm talking with a stranger and I didn't find that what am I doing? It's very calm and we did it very smoothly. So I really enjoyed that.
Okay, so it was such a beautiful time to be with you, and I must say that you have been affable throughout the conversation, and I was indeed comfortable to be with you. I hope to see you again. Until then, enjoy your time and keep smiling. Thank you so much.